Hey, comic book fans, welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. And fans, you're back with me, Mike Spider Slayer, getting ready to bring you that all-important comic book review so you, the fans, can make a decision on, yes, what comics to buy. And today, guys, we will be talking about The Walking Dead, issue number 141, otherwise known as Opportunity. Now, this will be one of the few books I talk about this week as Mike Spider Slayer is going to celebrate his daughter's birthday, and I will be going to Disney World this weekend, and so I will be gone probably all the way up until Monday. So I will be reviewing this book, and just to let you know, I'll be reviewing Secret Wars issue number 2 over on Comic Frontline if you want to check that out. All right, so with that being said, let's talk about The Walking Dead issue number 141, otherwise known as Opportunity. Awesome cover here. We get to see our favorite bad guy from this Walking Dead universe by the name of Negan. And you get to see him standing in this jail cell with a jail cell that is open. So if you read the last issue, you wind up finding out that, yeah, he has an opportunity to escape and wreak havoc all over the place. Now, my prediction was that would be the obvious thing. So I was thinking of him maybe staying in the cell and closing it up and doing the right thing. Something along that nature. So does that happen in this issue? Well, we'll find out here. Just to let you guys know, we will be discussing some spoilers here. So if you have not read this issue yet, please read your issue, then come back and see me, and then, you know, leave me your opinions down below. And if you already read it, I want to hear those opinions too, what you thought of this issue. Artwork is always consistent. Here we get to see for the first time in a while, we get to see Dwight in this particular issue. I was happy to see him, but his role was crazy in this issue because it's like he doesn't want to be leader anymore. Here we get to see Negan, yes, in the jail cell, and I'll explain a little bit more. But it's good to see Negan in here. I love all his facial expressions. The dialogue in this issue was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, absolutely hysterical. All you can expect from what was Negan coming out of his mouth, dealing with fucking shit and cock and being a fanboy of Negan. It's just all there. It's just his type of personality. So artwork's usually great. Yes, obviously Robert Kirkman writes it. Charlie Adlard does the artwork. We all know that by now. So what is this issue about? First off, we get to see Rick and all the others. You know, Rick is finally home. He meets up with Dwight, and Dwight just sits there and talks to Rick about not really being, he doesn't want to be the Savior's leader. He took control of it when Negan got locked up, and he was trying to convince Rick here of him picking a new leader, and Rick sat there and was honest with him, gave him his reasons why he was the leader, and he feels if he doesn't want to be a leader, there should be a proper election. So that's really how the book opens up, and there's some funny dialogue in there with Eric and Heath, and they're sitting there going, man, those saviors are a bunch of weirdos. They should be like outcasts, you know. Great stuff. So once Rick comes back home, he goes, visits Andrea in there, gives her a nice little kiss, and the next thing you wind up seeing is Rick, who always has to visit Negan when he comes back from a trip to make sure things are all standard, all right. And then Rick, you see his eyes open up, and the next thing you wind up seeing is freaking Negan sitting in his jail cell with the jail cell open. And Negan does such mind games in here, and it's so funny, the stuff that he says. You know, he calls Rick an old man. He says he can't hold up his gun anymore. He's like, what are you going to do? You're going to go for the head shot? You're going to go for the gut shot? It was just absolutely awesome to see what happens in this issue. And he really, really gets inside Rick Grimes' brain in this one. And he really goes all out, and he goes, you know, I could have done anything. He's like, you don't know what the hell I could have done. And the reason why I stayed in here was to build trust. He's like, I could have done anything. I could have destroyed anything in here. He's like, I could have hooked up with your little girlfriend, and he's like, and I could have put booby traps all over the place. But that's not what this is about. This is about trust, and that's what I'm trying to build with you. And even after all this time, Negan is sitting there still trying to get to Rick to trust him and somewhat work with him. And Rick wants nothing to do with it. he locks up the door. He sits there and he starts walking away, and he's, you know, and Negan sits there and he's like, I got it good in here. He's like, I'm protected from the dead. He's like, I get food, I get water. I should be thanking your ass. But the reason why, he goes, you keep me in here is because it makes you feel more civilized. It makes you feel like you're better than the rest of the people. And that's the freaking true monster right there. And then freaking Rick just walks away. I mean, the dialogue in this book and the interaction between Grimes and Negan was absolutely outstanding. And you've got to appreciate that here. And you find out in this issue that, yes, a certain someone is pregnant in here. And you also witness how Rick Grimes handles the whole situation with Olivia, because she's the one that's responsible for the room. And Rick has a good, you know, heart-to-heart conversation with Andrea about how he's supposed to be the leader that does things, that makes the hard and tough decisions. If people expect him to do the easy way out by killing Negan, then this whole thing falls apart. He's like, we got to do the right thing here. We can't start killing people and doing things that we used to do, because, again, that's when it all falls apart. And so after you get that message here, you wind up going to the very end of the book, and huge spoiler here, guys, so just be prepared. So if you haven't seen it yet, again, the next thing you wind up seeing is this right here. That's right. You get to see old Gregory all hung from the tree. So the Hilltop group made the decision to go ahead and kill Gregory instead of keep him imprisoned. Now, he hasn't committed any crimes. He attempted to murder, but he actually hasn't killed anybody. So did they go too far? Is the Hilltop and the Alexandria group going to be divided? And it was crazy stuff at the end of this issue, and it will be interesting to see where this all goes from here. Because it's just like Rick said, you know, as soon as we start killing people, things are all going to go to hell. I really enjoyed this issue. Just, again, Negan always, Robert Kirkman's writing continues to impress me when it comes to the Negan character. It's just outstanding. And just why Rick really does keep him alive, deep down inside, is it that? Is it because he wants to be, you know, more civilized and do the right thing? Or does it just prove that he sits there and makes himself feel better? So really great book, guys. You guys definitely read this one if you haven't checked it out yet. Great dialogue here. Can't wait to see what happens with the consequences or the ramifications once Rick finds out what Maggie did with Gregory. And we still don't know what's going on with Carl, too, because he's off with his little girlfriend, Lydia. So, great stuff here, guys. Always The Walking Dead is a wonderful read. Leave me your comments below what you thought of this issue. What do you think is going to happen in the future? Do you think maybe Rick and Negan can work together? And what do you think is going to happen between the Hilltop and Alexandria now that Gregory's dead? So, fans, as always, thank you for watching Comic Book Corner 2.0. And until the next comic book review, this is Mike Spider Slayer signing off. Take care, guys. Bye.